Have you ever wondered why some guys seem to effortlessly capture a girl's attention while others struggle to make a lasting impression? The answer is simpler than you might think. The secret to making a girl think about you all day, every day, without her being able to get you out of her mind lies in creating mystery and uncertainty. If you're ready to unlock this powerful psychological tool, keep reading. In this video, I'm going to reveal how to make her constantly think about you, and more importantly, how to leave her craving your presence. Imagine her mind like a house with two doors. To enter, you need two keys. The first key is uncertainty. And trust me, it's one of the most powerful psychological triggers that will make a girl obsess over you. But how do you make this concept work in your favor? Let's dive deeper into how uncertainty plays a role in attraction. Uncertainty, the secret that keeps her thinking about you. Uncertainty is something I had to figure out the hard way, especially when I was learning about female psychology. Women are naturally perceptive and can easily detect when things are too predictable. If you give her too much certainty, she'll lose interest and move on. But if you can master the art of keeping things just uncertain enough, she'll become completely hooked. So, what exactly does uncertainty mean? Simply put, uncertainty means she shouldn't fully understand your feelings toward her. And here's the kicker. Scientifically, women are drawn to men who evoke uncertainty because it triggers their curiosity. This mental tug-of-war is what leads her to think about you continuously. Let's break this down with an example you can relate to. When you first talk to a girl, her mind is racing with questions. Does he really like me? Does he want something more? Am I more into him than he is into me? These are the core questions she's trying to answer. If you reveal your feelings too soon, you'll spoil the game. But if you leave some questions unanswered, she'll keep thinking about you and wondering where she stands. The science behind uncertainty. There's a psychological concept called uncertainty reduction theory, which explains that people naturally interact with each other to reduce uncertainty. When it comes to romantic interactions, this theory works wonders because the less certain she feels about you, the more she'll be mentally invested in figuring you out. This is what keeps her intrigued and, ultimately, attracted. But how does this play out when you're talking to a girl? Here's the deal. When you first talk to her, she'll immediately be sizing you up to figure out the answers to the three questions we just mentioned. So, how do you keep her guessing? How to keep her guessing? The most important rule to follow is don't give her the answers right away. One of the easiest ways to do this is to avoid complimenting her looks. It sounds counterintuitive, right? But think about it. If she's attractive, her ego is likely already inflated, especially with the influence of social media and dating apps. Whether she's 5 feet tall or 6 feet tall, she probably thinks she's a total catch. And the moment you approach her, she might already assume you're interested. Here's the catch. Even if you're interested in her, what you don't want her to know is whether you're genuinely attracted to her. This level of uncertainty will trigger her curiosity, and she'll start to question whether you're really into her or just playing the game. That uncertainty will keep her thinking about you long after you walk away. Why this works so well? The reason uncertainty is so powerful is that it taps into something deep within our psychology. People are naturally wired to seek answers to unresolved questions. When a girl is uncertain about your feelings, she'll feel compelled to try and figure them out. And this process will keep her constantly thinking about you. Let's take a moment to reflect. Have you ever found yourself obsessing over someone who is hard to figure out? It's human nature. The more elusive they are, the more you want to know. The power of mystery. Now, let's add a final layer to this strategy. Mystery is irresistible. When you combine uncertainty with a bit of mystery, you create a magnetic attraction that's hard to resist. She'll be drawn to the mystery surrounding you and keep coming back to try and unravel it. Now that you understand how uncertainty and mystery can make her think about you constantly, it's time to put this knowledge into action. Start with small tweaks in your behavior, like keeping your emotions slightly mysterious and not always giving her the answer she craves. Trust me, she'll start to wonder what you're really thinking, and that will keep her hooked. What if I told you that the secret to making her think about you nonstop is actually not saying certain things? It's true. The most powerful strategies for attraction often come from withholding rather than oversharing. If you want to keep her intrigued, Keep reading to discover what you should avoid saying and how to keep the mystery alive. Rule number 1. Avoid complimenting her, especially early on. It might seem counterintuitive, but compliments can actually kill attraction, especially during the early stages of getting to know a girl. You might feel tempted to say things like, "You're beautiful," or "I love your smile," but don't give in to the urge. Why? Compliments like these give her certainty, and certainty kills intrigue. When you tell a girl she's beautiful or compliment her hair or eyes, you're immediately confirming that you're attracted to her. This removes the mystery and makes her feel like she's already won you over. Once she knows you're into her, the excitement fades away. Don't insult her, but don't overdo it with flattery either. You might be thinking, if I don't compliment her, should I insult her instead? Absolutely not. The goal here is to keep things neutral. Treat her like you would treat any other person you're getting to know. Talk to her like you would your friends, with respect, honesty, and without making her feel overly praised or criticized. This balance helps maintain an air of mystery, keeping her interested and curious about what you really think of her. Rule number 2, don't ask for a date right away. This is a classic mistake that many guys make, and it's something I used to do too. Let's say you've had a good conversation, enjoyed each other's company, and you're feeling like the chemistry is there. The last thing you want to do is say something like, "We should go out again sometime," or "I had a great time. Let's do this again soon." Why is this a mistake? You're giving her certainty. When you do this, you're essentially telling her that you're already planning the next step, which takes away the element of surprise. It makes the interaction predictable, and when things are predictable, the intrigue fades. Instead, if you just enjoy the moment, talk, laugh, and have a good time without mentioning a future date, you leave her wondering, did he enjoy it? Does he want to see me again? This uncertainty makes her think about you more. She'll replay the conversation in her mind, wondering if she said the right things, if you liked her, or if there was a spark. This reflection and wondering is what keeps the attraction alive. What happens when you don't ask for a date? When you leave things uncertain, you're encouraging her to think about the interaction long after it's over. She might start analyzing her behavior, wondering if she left a good impression, or if you're still interested in her. This is where the real magic happens. The more she thinks about you, the more likely she is to develop feelings for you. Rule number 3, don't ask her for anything. When it comes to building attraction, asking for things, whether it's for her phone number, social media handle, a kiss, or even a simple hug, can be a huge turnoff. Why? Because it shows neediness. Neediness signals that you're seeking something from her to feel validated. And that's a huge red flag. Many guys make the mistake of texting things like, "Why don't you reply to me?" Or "Why don't you call me more?" But think about it for a second. These types of messages are desperate. They make it seem like you're relying on her attention and approval to feel good about yourself. Women can easily pick up on this, and it's a surefire way to lose their interest. Live your life. Let her fit in naturally, instead of constantly asking for things. Focus on living your life independently. Don't make her feel like she's the center of your world. Keep your life full, interesting, and exciting so that when she does interact with you, she feels like she's stepping into something meaningful, not just seeking to fill an emotional void for you. When you don't ask her for anything, you set yourself apart from the other guys who are constantly chasing her approval. You'll seem more self-assured, confident, and unique, and this will spark her curiosity. She'll start thinking, who is this guy? Why isn't he asking me for anything? Does he even like me? If he doesn't like me, why does he keep talking to me? How this builds attraction. This is where the magic happens. When you don't ask for anything, you trigger her curiosity. She starts wondering about your intentions and why you're not acting like every other guy who is constantly reaching out to her or asking for things. You've shifted the dynamic from her trying to get approval from you to her trying to figure you out. And that's when she starts to think about you more. Every time you interact, she'll be wondering, what's going on in his head? The more questions she has about you, the more mentally invested she becomes. And that's when attraction grows stronger without her even realizing it. The key, don't be cold, just confident. While it's crucial not to ask for anything, you also need to be careful not to go to the extreme and become too cold or indifferent. If you seem completely uninterested or give her a no answer to her questions, you'll just give her the certainty she's trying to avoid. The goal here is to be confident and mysterious, not to shut her out entirely. Here's the trick. Be present and engaged when you're around her, but keep some distance in terms of your emotional needs. This way, you'll stand out and keep her wondering, while not making her feel completely pushed away. It's all about striking a balance between showing interest without becoming needy. So, here's your next challenge. Stop asking her for anything. Don't ask for her social media. Don't ask for a date. Don't beg for attention. Live your life confidently and let her wonder about you. When you stop seeking her approval, she'll start seeking yours. Let me know how this works for you in the comments. Like, share, and comment below if you want more tips on how to build attraction without seeming needy. Stay confident and keep the mystery alive. Rule number 4, don't always be available. One of the most common mistakes guys make is being too available. This might sound counterintuitive, but it's true. Don't respond to her messages right away. Don't be there whenever she reaches out. And don't always suggest hanging out again immediately after your first date. If you went out with her today, wait a week before suggesting a second date. Don't text her constantly. Talk to her today. Then give her space tomorrow. Some people might be thinking, but if I don't talk to her often, she'll forget about me. Let's clear that up right now. This is a complete misconception. The importance of space and time apart. Here's why being available all the time is a mistake. For a girl to develop real feelings for you, she needs space. The time apart is when the attraction actually builds. Think about it. When you're not around, she's thinking about you. She'll wake up in the morning and remember you. She'll be talking about you with her friends. And she might even come across something that reminds her of you while she's out. Attraction isn't built when you're there. It's built when you're not around. Give her space so she can reflect on the connection and develop deeper feelings. The golden rule. She'll forget you if you're afraid she will. Here's a golden piece of advice that could change everything for you. A girl will forget you if you're afraid she'll forget you. Think about that for a second. If you're constantly worried that she'll lose interest or forget about you, you're likely to cling to her in an attempt to keep her engaged. But this neediness will only push her away. You might catch yourself thinking, if I don't message her, she'll forget about me. Or I need to talk to her more so she doesn't forget me. But here's the truth. The more you fear her forgetting you, the more likely it is that she will. Why fear of loss is so powerful. Let me explain why this works the way it does. In today's world of social media, dating apps, and constant digital communication, women are surrounded by constant attention. They get messages from dozens of guys, all afraid she'll forget them. But here's the key. The guys who stand out are the ones who aren't afraid of losing her. If you're not afraid of her forgetting you, you'll become the guy she keeps thinking about. She'll forget everyone except you, the guy who isn't chasing her constantly. It's all about confidence. The secret to creating lasting attraction is confidence, not being afraid that she'll forget you. When you allow her to miss you and think about you, it creates a sense of longing and mystery. Don't chase after her attention. Let her chase you instead. The key to standing out. To make sure you stand out from the crowd of guys vying for her attention, follow this simple principle. Don't be afraid of being forgotten. Live your life fully, without constantly needing her validation. Create space for her to wonder about you and reflect on your connection. When she has time to think about you, she'll realize that you're the one she wants. Next time you're interacting with a girl you like, don't always be available. Give her some space to think about you, and let her feel the longing that builds when you're not constantly around. Remember, she'll forget you if you're afraid she will. Like, share, and comment below if you've experienced this before, or if you want more tips on how to keep the mystery and attraction alive without being too available. Do you ever feel that inner pressure to give a girl certainty, especially when you really like her? What if I told you that resisting that urge is one of the most powerful tools you have in building attraction? In this post, I'll explain why you need to trust the process, resist the temptation to give her certainty, and embrace the power of unpredictability to capture her mind and make her think about you nonstop. Final, trust the process and resist the urge to give certainty. Here's the thing. when you're talking to a girl you like, especially if she's the only girl you're focusing on. You'll likely feel a strong urge to give her certainty. You might want to compliment her, ask her out again, or even worry that she'll forget about you if you don't stay in constant contact. These are natural impulses, but I need you to resist them. Trust the process. Self-control is the key to making this work, not just in your interactions with women, but in all areas of your life. Every time you feel like doing the opposite of what I've suggested, whether it's texting her first, showing up too soon, or being overly available, hold back and stick to the plan. This process will teach you how to be more self-disciplined and in control of your emotions, which will give you the upper hand in attracting her without appearing needy or desperate. The second door, the door of expectations. Now that you've mastered the first door, uncertainty, it's time to open the second door, expectations. This is all about being the opposite of what she expects. Trust me, when you master this, you'll keep her guessing and leave her thinking about you more than ever. Never let her predict you. Unpredictability is a powerful tool. You need to make sure that she can never predict your actions or understand you fully. It sounds simple, but it's incredibly effective. When a girl is trying to figure you out, she'll spend hours trying to predict your next move. If she expects you to always be available, or always call, or always be sweet, your job is to do the opposite. If she expects you to text her every day, stop texting her for a while. If she expects you to always be available for a date, next time, make her wait. If you've been laughing with her constantly, try being serious and see how she reacts. The key is to keep her on her toes and make her wonder what you're going to do next. This is a mental game that will keep her hooked on you and constantly thinking, what's going on with him? What's he going to do next? Why does this work? You might be thinking, how am I supposed to know what she expects? Don't worry, it's simpler than you think. The human mind loves patterns. It expects you to repeat what you've already done, especially if she's gotten used to a certain behavior from you. For example, if you called her every day for a week, she'll expect you to do the same the following week. But if you suddenly change your pattern, if you stop calling her every day, she'll start thinking, why hasn't he called today? What's going on? Keep her guessing. The beauty of this technique is that it creates a sense of mystery. When you do the opposite of what she expects, she'll be caught in a mental loop, trying to figure out your next move. This constant wondering will make her more and more curious about you. And ultimately, it will lead to increased attraction. How to implement this in your interactions. Here's how you can apply this strategy. Vary your availability. If you've been constantly available, take a step back. If you've been available every time she reached out, next time, wait a bit before responding. Change your routine. If you've been doing certain things together regularly, mix it up. If you've been texting daily, skip a day or two. If you've been going out frequently, skip a week or suggest a less frequent meetup. Shift your mood. If you've been lighthearted and playful with her, try a different approach sometimes. Be more serious or reserved to create intrigue. Your challenge. So, the next time you feel the urge to give her certainty, whether it's through constant texts, compliments, or offering too much of your time, resist the temptation. Trust the process. And remember that creating uncertainty and being unpredictable will keep her thinking about you. Ever wonder why some guys seem to lose a girl's interest, even when they try so hard to stay in touch? Let me tell you something important about attraction. Keeping her guessing is a secret that many men overlook. If you want her to think about you constantly, you must remain unpredictable. And I'm about to show you exactly how. The power of unpredictability. Let me tell you a quick story that illustrates the importance of this. I was out with a girl once, and she mentioned a guy she talks to on WhatsApp. She told me that he constantly messages her and seems to always be available. He'd wait to respond exactly when she did. If she took 3 hours, he'd take 3 hours. If she took a full day, he'd take a full day. Now, you might think, well, isn't that smart? He's just matching her energy. But here's the truth. It's a huge mistake. First of all, he's handing over all the control to her, which is the opposite of what you want. Women aren't attracted to guys who are overly available or try to play games like this. She's not naive, and she'll see right through this strategy. This guy probably thinks he's being clever, but in reality, He's just playing predictable games that make him look desperate and unoriginal. If you're mirroring her behavior like this, thinking she won't notice, you're actually being naive yourself. How to do it right. Here's how you can stand out. Change things up. Sometimes respond right away. Other times, take your time. Occasionally, don't reply at all. Don't worry about her reaction. Do what feels right for you. This way, you become unpredictable, and she starts wondering, why isn't he responding like the others? Or what's going on with him? If you keep this up, you'll be sending a message that you're not desperate for her attention, and she'll find it hard to figure you out. And guess what? When she can't figure you out, she'll keep thinking about you. Why does this work? By creating this unpredictability, you're effectively removing the certainty she's looking for. Instead of knowing exactly what you're going to do next, she'll start to wonder, and that's when attraction builds. The mystery is what keeps her hooked and coming back for more. The keys to her mind, in short, the keys to unlocking a girl's mind are simple. Create uncertainty and unpredictability. Keep her on her toes by doing the opposite of what she expects. If you do this consistently, she'll never be able to figure you out, leading her to think about you constantly. Remember, resist the urge to mirror her behavior or play predictable games. Be genuine, be unpredictable, and most importantly, do it on your terms. This will keep her wondering about you, and that's how you build attraction. Now, if you found this helpful, make sure to like, share, and comment below. Don't forget to check out my online course linked in the description for even more tips. See you in the next video.